Hello, and welcome into the 8th episode of Twitch to YouTube. I am Outlawman76. Today I sit down and have a fascinating conversation with the wonderful A. Dranko. I hope you enjoyed the conversation as much as I did. As always, if you enjoy the content that I produce, please consider leaving a like or a subscription, or if you feel so inclined, hitting the little notification bell so that way you get notified every time I upload a video. I appreciate all your support. The links for A. Dranko are in the description, as well as my links at the very bottom. Follow me on Twitch for more updates on this channel and the guests that are forthcoming. And here now is the conversation with A. Dranko. And welcome into the conversation portion of the show. I'm here with A. Dranko. Hello, A. Dranko.
Hi.
Thank you for joining me today. And
Oh, thank you. Thank you for having me. It's an honor.
of course, I've always looked forward to having this conversation. So, if you haven't seen the show before, or for new viewers, I basically ask a set of questions. Some of them are standard for every guest, and then some are unique for you. So, without further ado, are you ready to begin?
Absolutely. Let's go.
Okay, so the easiest question comes first always. The name, A. Dranko. It's somewhat a unique name, I'd say. Tell us the origin of that name. Where'd you come up with it? How did you come up with it? All of that.
So funny you asked, and thanks for asking because this is it's not exciting. um, it is, but it isn't. It's actually, how do I word this? It's my name.
Oh.
It's my name, so kind of, in a way. So, my name is Amanda.
Mm-hmm.
So I was trying to figure out how to kind of do something with A instead of putting an A there.
Right.
So I was like, A. So A, that's how A came in the A Dranko. And then Dranko is a mixture, don't anybody look this up. It's a mixture of my last name and a nickname that I had in high school. So
Oh.
that's how I came up with the name. My friends in high school used to call me Durko, and then it kind of turned to Dorko, and then I came up with Dranko. So A Dranko is the name, and something is me playing the game, I guess. I don't know. Came up with a rhyme there, and it totally failed.
Well, I will say it's everybody's origin story. I always find it's always interesting how everybody's kind of like, oh, well, it's just the name, and then they go through their origin story, and it's actually a pretty interesting story. For example, that you uh, came up with it because you mixed together your name, which is it's a unique way of doing it. So it's actually pretty interesting. So again, sort of simply easing into this, how did you get started on Twitch? What made you decide to stream? Like, why stream of all things? I mean.
So I'm gonna give a shout out to somebody in here, and that's one of my friends that I know in real life, Queen Maeve. I'm sure you guys have seen her in
Mm-hmm.
stream.
Mm-hmm.
She had been watching Twitch, and I was always playing video games. And anytime she would text me, because we live farther away from each other, anytime she would text me, I'd be playing a video game. And she's like, "You just need to stream already." And I was like, "What do you mean stream?" And she's like, "You can put your video games out there
Mm-hmm.
online." And I was like, "What? No way. No way. Like people watch you like Netflix?" And she's like, "Yeah." So, of course, the COVID thing and all that was happening. And I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna check it out." So then I started watching streams.
Mm.
And I think the first couple ones I started watching, they were like Miss LVP. And I can't remember exactly how I found her. It feels like it's been forever ago. And then I was just watching random people, and I'm like, what is all this stuff in chat that they're talking Pogger? What is Pogger? And like, I was like in a whole other world that I was unfamiliar with, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna start doing some research, maybe actually try this out. And so I started my first stream. I think it was June 28th. June 28th? April. April 28th, I think, of 2020.
Mm.
One of those. I think June was when I was affiliated. And I started on my PlayStation with no camera. And then I ended up ordering a PlayStation camera, which was those things are
Mm.
low quality, but still it got me out there. And yeah, then it just started happening. I had a few supporters and friends and military mom
Mm.
watching, and then some other people came in, like yourself and Fletman, and I was like, I'm enjoying this. I really like it. And then yeah, that's how I got into streaming. I had no idea it even existed until then, and now it's a beautiful addiction. I shouldn't say a beautiful addiction. It's just something that I can go to. It makes me feel good and I get to hang out with people. So,
Yeah.
yeah, that's how I got started.
That's actually pretty interesting, and you reminded me a little of my own origin on Twitch in a way that when you were seeing the words and things being used in chat, when I first started watching Twitch, I was watching an English streamer, and she would read some of the emotes. So she would read out Kappa, like instead of she would say the word Kappa. So I didn't know what Kappa meant. I thought it was like an English
No.
slang. So like I was like, so what does Kappa mean in England? I was like, that's an English slang, and I got called a boomer in chat. So
Oh, that's what I feel like all the time. So you're not alone. I still feel like the boomer.
yeah, so but it's actually pretty interesting. And I remember finding when we first met in August of last year, about a year ago now. And
Wow.
yeah, it's can't believe it's been a year, but I did meet you in Miss LVP's Discord.
We did. Yep.
Yeah, so you mentioned military mom, your mom.
Yeah.
And so she's a pretty significant member of your community. She's very vocal. She's always there. She's always supporting. How did that start? How did she come to Twitch? Because not a lot of streamers. You see some streamers who do have family members, siblings, sometimes even a parent come in, but it's in passing. But your mom is actually actively there, watching and supporting and chatting. How did that come to be?
Yeah, so oh, love her heart. She is too good for this world. So my mom, she was the type of mom when we were growing up where we were always outside, me and my brother. We were always outside playing, getting hurt, doing like building tree houses and stuff. And but we had an Atari,
Mm,
and we'd play that. And then my brother got into building computers, so then we got into gaming on a PC. And my mom was always in there with us. I don't know if it was just because she enjoyed us, like watching us have fun.
mm,
But she'd stop in and she'd be like, "What are you guys playing?" And oh, this looks interesting. And so she would always be kind of watching what we were playing, which is a good thing. You should
mm.
probably watch what your kids are playing.
Yeah, it's probably a good idea.
And yeah, especially now. Um, and then I told her about the Twitch thing, that I was going to be streaming and all that. And when I first started out, it wasn't like this huge deal. It's still for fun, and it was for fun when I first started, but she just wanted to be supportive.
Mm,
And she's like, "Can I watch?" And I was like, "Absolutely, but you have to make a name." So she made a name, and I thought she was only going to stick around for like a couple streams. And because with my mouth, I was like, yeah, this is not mom safe stream content sometimes.
yeah.
And it got to the point where I was just apologizing, like, sorry, mom, close your ears. Your fault for being here. Uh, but yeah, she just stuck around, and she's addicted. She loves it.
Yeah.
I see she pops into your streams.
Mm-hmm.
She pops into a couple other people's streams. She's finding video games that I haven't really watched all that much, and she's like, "You have to watch this. It's so interesting." And I'm like, "Who are you?" But I I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's very supportive. Absolutely.
It's amazing to see. I always love seeing it. It's very wholesome. It's very cool. It's um, very awesome. So, as we were saying, what does it mean to you personally? Like that your mom is there, that you have that rock, that support system, that no matter what's going on in the stream, that you have that your parent, your mom there. Because I am very close to my mom, and so it's one of those things where you just feel so much. For me personally, you feel safer, and so just what does it mean to you that when you're streaming, she's there and she's watching out?
I well, one, it means a lot to me, but on another note too, I guess it keeps me kind of in check. That way I don't get too not safe for work Twitch wise. So she keeps me in check that way. But I don't think I really thought about it until like you guys started commenting on live chat, like, "Hey, it's military mom." Like, yeah, that's Dranko's mom. Like, oh man, that's so supportive. And then I really thought, like, yeah, that's not normal. You don't see that a lot, and it warms my heart that I have someone like that in my family, that is not only interested but supportive,
Yeah.
and and asking, how did your stream go if she misses a part of it or something. How's so and so doing? Like she really has made herself part of the community.
Mm-hmm.
She's not just there. She is part of the community. So yeah, it means a lot. It really warms my heart. And I am very close to my mom. Obviously, I had her on one of my streams with me.
Yeah.
And yeah, it means a ton. And I eat those memories up, Nothing lasts forever. So
Yeah.
it's a good thing to have. It's a good relationship to have.
Yeah, it's one of the things that I most really enjoy about your community, to see how supportive both your mom and Queen Maeve both are, like IRL friends that are, Queen Maeve is an IRL friend and your mom is obviously
Yeah.
your mom. But just to see that sort of built-in support network, that it's really wholesome, it's really good to see, and it's one of the more, I feel, unique aspects of your stream, because you don't see that very often in streams. People tend to be almost islands unto themselves. Some people do it
Yeah.
purposely, some people are like, I don't want to bring in my family. Some people's families are not tech savvy, like for example my mom wouldn't be able to navigate Twitch too much. So it's
Oh,
just,
my mom helped me build this PC, so she's more tech savvy than I am.
that's actually pretty cool. Uh,
Yeah.
so one of the things that's very, you are yourself. You don't put on a facade. As you say, your screen name is your amalgamation of your actual name. As part of that is also your sexual identity, your sexual orientation, and you're very upfront and forward with it. So, what does it mean to you that you sort of create a safe space for other members of the LGBTQIA community who maybe don't have that in their IRL life or something? You're creating a sort of space that's safe for them. What does that mean to you as a person?
Oh man. All right, you ready to talk? This video is gonna be about an hour now. So yeah, it's something that I'm upfront with, but I'm not super pushy about.
Yeah.
But to me, it means the world because, and going back to military mom too, eventually. Growing up, I grew up in a very small town. I was in church all the time. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Mm-hmm.
But I was in church all the time. I had a graduating class of like 84 people,
Mm-hmm.
and there wasn't a lot of diversity or individuality where I grew up. So once I realized, which was at a very young age, that I was, a lesbian, or I identified as a lesbian, I was like, well, this is awkward.
Yeah.
Um, and I didn't have anybody to talk to. I mean, I didn't come out until I was 18 and not fully until I was about 23.
Mm-hmm.
So I literally, it's probably one reason why I want to be myself on Twitch so much is because I literally had to be someone else for so long,
Right.
in my life. And that's no fun. That's no fun for anyone. Regardless, you shouldn't have to act.
Mm-hmm.
Um, It's just that's not good for your mental state. But yeah, military mom was one of the ones that she was one of the last ones that I came out to because I told her the reason too was because I was most worried about losing her
Mm.
in my life. Yeah, that's a feeling I never want to feel again.
Yeah. Yeah.
So to and she's been great. I
Yeah.
mean, she's so supportive. And she completely did a 180. But I had to hide from my job. I had to hide from my family. I had to hide for some of my friends. And the fact that, it's getting better now, it's not entirely better. There's still people that don't have families that are accepting
Yeah.
of who they are or friends. And if they can come to my channel for a little bit and at least have even if I'm not a familiar face, have someone that they can come to a channel and just know that they're going to be okay if they come in chat and say, hey, I identify as, this or
Mm-hmm.
that. No one's going to say anything bad to them. And if they do, we're going to kick their asses out.
Yep.
But
Yep.
so, um, yeah, it's just, it means a lot to me. I could go on and on and on, with stories about it. Just, it was rough.
Yeah.
And I don't want anyone else to feel that way. So
Yeah.
that's what it means to me.
And that's, I think, what makes you the amazing person that you are, and why you've clicked with the community you've clicked with. And I believe that the community you have is an amazing community. And I'm of the belief that the community is a reflection of the streamer, and your community is is a great community, very wholesome, very welcoming, very open, and I believe that is a reflection upon you as a person. So I'm glad that, you know,
Thank you.
you are at the place that you're at. You had to go through a journey, but I'm glad that you arrived at the place you're at. And I know for me personally, I've grown up around members of the LGBTQIA community, some friends, some family, and I'm older, so when I was younger, it wasn't as accepted as it is now. So
Right.
I sort of saw secondhand what it's like, not accepting families. I had a friend whose family wasn't exactly accepting, and we had to sort of be a surrogate family for him at the time. So just to see these spaces on Twitch, and extends to Discord, where people can sort of talk to each other off stream and connect and communicate. It's really good to see. So I definitely is one of the features of your streams and communities that I think should be highlighted, and that's why I asked the question. But so you recently overhauled your Discord. You sort of
Oh,
made some
yeah.
changes. Speaking of Discord, as we transition, um, you also mentioned earlier that you started with a PlayStation and just a PlayStation camera. And when you look back at the journey that you've been on, it's just been a year, and we hope for many, many more years on Twitch. You
Me
know,
too.
when you look back at the journey that just 1 year has gone through, your equipment upgrades, your stream upgrades, your Discord upgrades. How do you feel when you look back at where you started versus where you are now, the journey you've gone on?
Just blows my mind. Especially even since my 1 year video that I made in April. Even since that video, I've upgraded stuff. And yeah, it blows my mind. I started out on a PlayStation 4 with a
Mm,
PlayStation camera.
mm,
And then I attempted to build a PC, which was a journey in itself. And eventually, good things came to pass. And I
mm,
got very lucky and got the parts that I needed and got my PC built. And then it was like I had to start all over again. I had to learn how to work OBS and,
mm,
all the technicalities of it all.
yeah.
And yeah, it was just it's insane. My microphone upgrade. I mean, I've had this headset since the beginning.
Yep.
This is like my ride or die right here. But I used to be streaming off this microphone. I upgraded my microphone. I upgraded my camera. And the way I see it is like that's the least I can do. You guys are coming to the channel and there's people just throwing money at me sometimes and I'm like, no guys, just like it's good. But I mean at the same time it's great because it's allowed me to upgrade
Yeah.
and make the community better, like Discord, the Twitch, just emotes, things like that. It all
Mm,
helps out. So yeah, it's just been huge change after change. And I don't want to stop doing that. I want to try to always improve because if someone's coming to my channel to, enjoy themselves, I don't want my microphone to be like the whole time. So that's just that's horrible. But yeah, that's the improvements, they're blessings and like I said, some of the things I got lucky with and I'm very, very grateful for what I have and the things I've learned and the people who have been helping me out. Speaking of community, like I've reached out to you and a few other people and just like, hey, how do I tweak this microphone? You know, and you guys don't hesitate to help. And that's an amazing thing. It's not someone just trying to get ahead and, you know, it's like it's not a competition
Yeah.
thing in our community, I feel like. And that's a really good thing to have. Like you truly do have friends, so
Yeah.
it's nice.
It is amazing to see, and I was thinking of one particular memory early on that you may remember, maybe you don't. The technical
With my
difficulty.
mind, I'm sorry if I don't.
The first time I think you, or one of the first times you won an Apex, or one of the earlier times that I saw you win an
Oh
Apex,
no, yeah, I remember this. Yep.
and the camera, the gameplay and the camera I think went out, so it was just a dark screen with audio, I believe, or yeah, I think it was. We didn't see it. It was just a radio win, and it became a clip actually. Fletman,
It it did.
yeah.
So with that, that was when I was streaming from my PlayStation still. And I was streaming through Wi-Fi.
Hmm.
And I was still trying to figure out like upload speeds and stuff. And then I found out when it's actually after this video happened, I was like, that's it. I'm going out and I'm spending money on a 50-foot Ethernet cord. Like I don't care what I have to do. This is bullshit. Um, so even though that turned out to be a really funny clip, but yeah, the internet just decided to, and of course, it was the one time that I was winning in Apex Legends, and all you guys could do was hear me.
Yeah, it took us back to the old time days of radio. It made us,
Oh,
yeah,
it's I think you guys were saying ASMR stream, ASMR stream.
yeah.
Yeah, it definitely turned into it because I was like, yeah, we won, and I'm like dancing and like so excited, and then I look and I'm like, there's no video. There's no video.
Yeah, but you see, sometimes I feel like things like that when they happen, you could either embrace them or not. And I feel like when you embrace them, you can have one of the best memories that it's something that I remember as a defining memory of my time in your
Yeah.
channel. So, and it's just something that I could always recall easily. So we mentioned that you streamed Apex. When I first came in, you were streaming The Last of Us, part two, I believe. You play Fall
Yep.
Guys, you play Resident Evil, Witcher, you play a whole variety of games, very wide spectrum. So just
All over the place.
yeah, so to take us through the what's the decision making process when you're deciding what you're gonna stream, what content you're gonna make and put out there. Take us through that sort of process.
So when I started doing this, it was instantly a blast. I
Hmm.
loved everything about streaming and having people to play video games with. It reminded me of like the old days when your friends would come over and you'd be sharing controllers and playing together and playing video games together. And like streaming gave me that feel again. So when I started, I was like, this is a blast. And I got to a point where I was doing some research
Hmm.
on like other streamers and how they felt like a stream should be.
Hmm.
And it got really serious and like almost job like the way they were kind of setting themselves up for their stream.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, this is never going to feel like a job to me. I don't ever want it to feel like a job to me. I always want it to be something I'm going to enjoy, something that's going to make me feel relaxed, something that's going to make my community have fun. Like, I don't want to be like some robot on stream. So I made a promise, like, don't ever make this seem like it's your job.
Yeah.
Like, always have fun.
Yeah.
So I think that was, what was the question? I think I got off on a tangent there.
That's perfectly
Um,
fine. Just the decision making process on how you decide what you're gonna stream.
Yeah, there we go. Thank you. So my ADD. I don't know if I have it, but I joke that I have it all the time. So yeah, it just depends on pretty much the mood I'm in that day.
Right.
And I try to stay on like if I'm doing a story mode, like when I do in The Witcher.
Hmm.
I try to stay on, okay, let's keep this a constant in the channel. That way it's never gone.
Yeah.
completely. Or with like Resident Evil Village, I'm trying to, stay on that. Like we got to complete the story. And then the rest of the stuff is just randoms. I try to have my community days. I like to get people involved. I love to play video games with people, so to have those days is something important to me. Not where you guys are just watching me. You guys can also play as well. But yeah, it just depends on my mood, really. It's very random. There's no scientific thing to it. I try to keep a constant in there, which is usually The Witcher, and then the rest is just like, hey, what do I feel like playing today? And sometimes I'll find a new game and throw it up on stream and see how it does and decide if I want to play it off stream or on stream.
Yeah.
And there you go. Now you know the mastermind.
I mean, it works if you it works. So I enjoy hanging out and like I said, just sort of seeing the wide array of games. I loved watching you play The Village, Resident Evil Village. I love watching when you play The Witcher, when you're playing Apex, when you're playing Fall Guys or Jackbox or any number of games that you're playing. It's always fun to sit and watch and hang out. So, and I agree with you that to never should never feel like a job. I don't want it to feel like
Oh
a
yeah,
job for
no.
me. This is this is a hobby for me. I enjoy this. I have fun, but I don't want to, feel like I have to do it. Feel like I have to do it a certain way. If I want to come on stream and just, talk for an hour and a half, I want to be able to have that right and ability.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So that's why I just kind of that's the madness to my methods. There's no method to my madness, just madness to my methods.
Exactly. And I feel like it kind of takes away from it being your channel and your community's channel.
Mm,
If you're like, if you let, one new person come in and tell you, well, you're not doing this right.
yeah.
It's like, okay, but you're in my channel and my community's channel. Like, this is how we do stuff.
Yeah.
Go elsewhere if you don't like it. That's just kind of how I feel. Like, I want people to come in and hang out, but I don't want, negativity in there.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, no one does. I don't think there's anybody who's like, bring all the negative shit to me. But yeah, yeah, it's like it's our thing, and it's grown into this beautiful little seedling that it has so far, and it just keeps growing. And yeah, don't
It's
mess with it.
no, it's perfect. Let it be. Let it be as Mother Maggie would say in that one song. But so we were talking about your community, and you named your community the Northern Outpost. Outpost.
Yes.
That is kind of unique. I don't think. I mean, of course, everybody has sort of like a community name, but I feel like yours is more prominent. You sort of say it more often. You talk about it a bit more. So tell us about where you got the name the Northern Outpost. Where does that come from?
So me and Queen Maeve are real big, like apocalyptic zombie like nerds.
Mm-hmm.
We love a lot of sci-fi shows and movies that are about, post-apocalyptic stuff. And we've always joked around about like making our own place for the apocalypse.
Mm,
And we kind of were just, bouncing ideas back and forth off of one another. And we came up with the Northern Outpost because I live, further north. And when the stream started happening, Queen was like, "You should name it like the Outpost," and I was like, "The Northern Outpost,"
mm,
and that's how that kind of came to life. And I haven't got to really bring it to life like I want to just yet. It's in the process of just getting a whole new, in your words, an overhaul.
yeah.
It's almost like I have this story in my mind.
Mm,
Like the Northern Outpost is its own story. It has a past, it has a future, and I really, really, really want to bring that to life. That way, when people are hearing the name, they can be like, "Hey, that's what she's talking about."
mm,
So my Twitch page and some other things are going to be changing. I paired with an artist to actually really bring that to life. And we're in the process of working on it. It's going to take a little bit, but I'm really excited to see the end product because it's like wanting to make your own comic book, and it's finally coming to life.
ah, but
So, but yeah, that's how the Northern Outpost got created was just us being nerds with zombie stuff and wanting to have like our own little post-apocalyptic base, so to say, and that's what it turned into.
Well, I mean, I think in a sense it is your base. You know, it's your
Yeah.
so it kind of. Thankfully, there's no zombie apocalypse. I would not do well in the zombie apocalypse.
Yeah, I don't necessarily really want one to happen, but it wouldn't suck either. I mean, the death part would suck, but
Yeah, I'm the character that gets killed that lets everybody else know there's something going on. It is my corpse that gets examined to be like, there's bite marks on this person. That's me. That's my role in the zombie apocalypse. I don't
no.
survive. I'm not a survivalist. So. But it's cool that you have the Northern Outpost, and it's that sort of idea is being used in a way. So Queen Maeve, as we've mentioned, got you sort of started on Twitch. She put the seed in your head. She helped the Northern Outpost thing as a sort of a co-op thing. How important and how much of a major factor is Queen Maeve to A Dranko the streamer?
How important of a factor is she? Oh man, she's gonna be watching this. If I don't talk her up right now, I'm gonna get in so much trouble. No, we've been friends for over 10 years now. And she's honestly the only friend that I have that still exists, like our friendship still exists.
Yeah.
So the fact that she got me into this streaming thing and she's still there for my streams and we still get to talk through video games and things like that. It's a huge factor. We live far apart. She's a doctor and far off lands now, so we always get separated. We only get to see each other every once in a while. So the fact that we have this stream and she's still in the community and still supportive of her decision that she made me do. um it's nice. It's really nice to have a friend that's there with me through it all, so
Yeah.
I really appreciate that.
It's really again, it's like military mom. Seeing that sort of connection is really cool. So
Yeah.
we've had a very wonderful conversation, and I have a new sort of tradition that I've been doing in the last sort of few episodes. When I end the conversation, I ask one question, and when I ask this question, I almost never get a straight answer. I sort of get a list. So I'm gonna ask it to
Uh-oh.
you and see if you sort of continue with the trend or if you'll be the first to actually just say no, it's this.
Hmm. No
Favorite
pressure.
favorite stream you've ever done?
Oh, favorite stream I've ever done. Easy. I already got it. It was my birthday stream with Military Mom.
Ah,
Um, that one, I think it's my favorite because that was the one that I had like an actual guest on my show. Plus, it was my mom.
mm,
And the reason why it's my favorite stream, and you guys couldn't see it, but before we went live, I was like, "Hey, you know how I do my greeting?" And she's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "You're gonna do it." And she just went, and I was like, it's cool. Just it's gonna be totally good. Like just say, "Hey, this is Military Mom coming at you from the Northern Outpost." And she was like, "Okay. Okay. Oh, I'm gonna mess it up. I'm gonna mess this up." And I was like, "No, you'll be just fine. It's okay." And I kept messing with her like, "We're going live. I'm gonna push the live button." And I finally did it and I told her, I was like, "We're live." And her face, she was just like, uh
that's precious.
but then she totally nailed it. And then we had a great time, and I thought I was gonna have to swat her away from coming to have to do like more streams with me more and more. She liked it a little too much, so
So watch out for military mom streams in the future. Huh? Is that what we're saying?
oh, maybe.
Never know.
Might not be a bad idea.
No, but I want to say thank you for sitting with me, and I loved the insights, the conversation, and I think the viewers will love this as well. I had a lot of fun. I hope this was fun for you and it wasn't too painful. You have
It
survived.
was it was wonderful, and thank you so much. The fact that you've asked me to be on your YouTube series is a complete honor. You're an amazing person. You're an amazing friend. I just a little nervy still, but it helps that you're here.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
And yeah, just thank you so much.
No,
Thank you for everybody who's watching, if you watch.
I think that this is. I think people are going to be very interested, and I think that people will like to that maybe haven't had the chance to see your streams. They'll be able to see a side of you, and the hope is that they will come and join the Northern Outpost, or at least stop on by for maybe a cup of coffee or something. But Dranko,
Absolutely.
thank you so very much once again for joining us. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
I will be back with the conclusion of this episode. Once again, thank you to A. Dranko. Be back. And that was the conversation with A. Dranko. I hope you enjoyed it. And a sincere thanks again to the wonderful A. Dranko for joining me here today. As always, if you enjoy this content, please consider leaving a like, consider subscribing to the channel, or of course, if you feel so inclined, consider hitting the little notification bell to be notified when I produce new content. Next week, we will have more gaming content on the channel. As for Twitch to YouTube, stay tuned to my personal Twitch channel for updates on the next guest. Thank you again for joining us here today, and thanks again to A. Dranko. I'll see you again on the next episode. As always, I've been Outlawman76, and we'll see you next time.